Hello, and welcome to Astrology Tarot with Working Gurl. It's me, Working Gurl, and it's March 2021. During our session today, I'm going to pick one card for each astrological sign. So I'm going to pick 12 cards and from my tarot deck. The tarot deck that I'm using today is the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland, and that's available via Hay House Publishing. I like these cards. They're a little bit different than the traditional tarot, but they do align in some of them. So we got the Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, some Chakra cards, and some other cool things in there. And they're just a little bit more interpretive, I feel like. And so I really like these. So let's get started. Since it's Pisces season, we will start there with Pisces. Pisces is February 20th through March 20th. They're a water sign. They can be known to be psychic. So Pisces, I don't know if you feel that or not, but we'll see. And the card we have for you is Balance. This card features someone who is thinking, they're kind of have their radius, and they kind of have their inventory set out. So you're kind of thinking about maybe something shifting or shifting your balance. This can also be a time of sentiment, thinking about what you have, what you've been blessed with. So this person has a pentacle, it looks like a cup, a sword, and a wand, and they also have wings, and they have kind of ascended into kind of the heavenly sphere, and the number is 11. This is a Major Arcana card, and this card represents the need for balance and harmony in your life. So that's the name. Your inner life as well as what's around you. So some things will have to adjust. This kind of denotes that some things have to change, and it could be associated with a lot of things, right? It could be your love, it could be your relationships, your business, or even, your job. It's being shown to you right now, Pisces, to make you realize that what you perceive to be happening around you is really kind of an externalization of your inner process or your conflict that you're experiencing. So this card seems to come up if you work in the legal field, when you're involved in something with the law. So have faith that justice triumphs. Justice and karma go hand in hand, and take only what you've earned. Treat people, fairly, balanced, and don't take advantage of anyone. This is all part of our karmic life. When we determine something, there's got to be balance. So emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, we want you to make, you want to make a rational decision, a logical judgment, and so this is the time to be honest and caring and responsible for choices that you've made, as well as ones that you're about to make or you're going to be making. So the traditional tarot card for this is Justice, and so Pisces, you can be sympathetic, you can be unselfish, and so you can really understand sometimes what that means. You can also be quite responsive. So, maybe this balance is, a call to action, and just really thinking about what choices you're making and how they are affecting, all parts of your life. So Pisces, balance. Next up, we have Aries. Our card for Aries. Aries is March 21st through April 20th. Fire sign Aries. Fire signs are known to be impulsive, but it's also known to be energetic, and another word for that is enthusiastic. So Aries, or fire signs, can be, it's not good or bad, it's just kind of how you use it. So Aries, we're going to pick a card for you, and your card is choose wisely. So the card that I have picked is called Choose Wisely, and what it looks like is denoting, a direction that you are being you're kind of having to figure out how to move in that direction. Aries are known to be confident, and so this is a time where you're really probably going to be tested to see, you're given a lot of choices, and you're going to have to use that your kind of vitality to figure out, which option is the best for you. Aries are also known to be kind of courageous. They can be brave or go out and, they're not afraid, always afraid to, make that choice. So make a bold choice. So it looks like you're really being called to choose wisely. And not only are you being asked to choose wisely, but there may be other people on this trip with you. So really thinking about, who is going on this journey with you and in this direction with you. Aries, this is a green card, so that means it's an emotion card. And so this card pops up when you have a vision or goal that you want to achieve, but you have too many choices, or your energy is scattered, or your expectations are unrealistic, and this is stopping you from really getting what you want. So the opportunities are there, but sometimes it's hard to make a decision. This card is reminding you that the options around you kind of feel like they all have the influence and power, but in reality, you are in control and responsible for all of the choices that you make. So take time, think about it, analyze your options, look at the different possibilities that are in front of you. Don't make a rational decision or irrational decision just because you feel pressured to make that decision. Don't let other people influence you who really don't have anything to add, any ideas, any expertise. These people are not, they're not from your field, so don't listen to them. A focused, wise decision is what you want. So not something that you were emotional about and did that. So use your fire energy to kind of Aries can sometimes be a little bit competitive, so maybe getting instead of the competition aspect, use your competitors to kind of get see what they're doing, engage their interest, and maybe you use that as data to look at what your choices could be. So really thinking about what's next, who you're listening to, who's giving you the advice, and then just being courageous as Aries typically are, and getting out there and going for it. So Aries, make sure you choose wisely. I'm sure you will. All right, up next we're going to pick a card for Taurus. Taurus is April 21st through May 21st. And they're earth sign, which are known for being kind of, down to earth, practical, stable. They can also be quite materialistic and kind of really fascinated with worldly things. So let's pick a card for your March and see what we've got coming up next for you. The card that we have says rest and rejuvenate, Taurus. And what we have is someone in quiet solitude in a forest. They seem to be meditating. They are by themselves, but they are not lonely. They're not scared. They're quite content and quite peaceful. And the number associated with this card right now is 4. And so sometimes 1 is kind of, the beginning, 2 is the next step, 3 is the completion, and 4 can kind of be like what comes after, what comes next after everything's been said and done. What comes after, all of the things that are happening. And so this card, Rest and Rejuvenate, to me would say, Taurus, that it's time to take like a little break, not necessarily stop, but, don't stop being productive or what you usually do, Taurus, but maybe take a second. Tauruses are known for being consistent and steadfast, so they keep kind of continuing. So maybe this is the universe, Taurus, saying, you're doing that, and we see it. So take a minute, and take a look at what you're doing and what you've been doing, and just reflect, and not necessarily planning or making big moves, but giving yourself a second to think about what's been happening. Okay, Taurus, so Rest and Rejuvenate is a mental card. It's got an indigo border, and so this card implies that some rest, some meditation, rejuvenation, recuperation, it's all in the books. It's all necessary. We need that. It's coming up when you encounter or you're coming out of something particularly emotional or mentally draining. The number 4 in numerology means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and continue moving forward. Really taking time just for reflecting is needed, and it's long overdue. And I don't have to tell you that, because you've experienced the past year just like we all have. Being able to take a moment and stop that production and just, you can stay steadfast, but really take a minute and reflect. When you take that moment to reflect, and give yourself an opportunity to look at a problem or a situation, instead of being in it. You get a chance to stand back, to see what's happening, to get a little bit of clarity, and maybe appreciate where you are right now, and see where the changes can be made, to help you create something healthier, something stronger, and helping you go forward. So right now, Taurus, it's not necessarily about doing any one thing in particular. It's about doing the hardest thing sometimes, and that's nothing. So as impractical as that may be for you, Taurus, and difficult, taking a second to add that to your routine, instead of, you're already doing the work, you're already doing everything. So just add a bit of self-reflection into that work, be as consistent with that, and just take a second to see what's happening. So Taurus, I think you got this. I want to take just a second to let you know that I have a new website up called talkwithraffi.com. If you are looking for a deeper read into your cards, or if you just have something that you want to talk about, you can visit talkwithraffi.com, book 15 free minutes with me, and we will chat it out. Again, that's talkwithraffi.com, and I hope to talk with you soon. We are up to Gemini. Gemini is May 22nd through June 21st. That's an air sign. They are known to be social. They can be idealistic, and they're known to be very communicative. So they are just chatty. They can be chatty. But we are going to pick a card for you and see what March has in store for Gemini. And the card that we have for you is called Spiritual Union. Okay, Gemini. What we have is actually two people. It looks, the image is two people connecting, and it looks like their foreheads are kind of touching, so their kind of third eyes are connecting. Underneath them is a chalice. There seems to be some wine in there or something to drink, but that kind of represents unity. And there's also an infinity engraved on the gold. So that kind of makes me think that this is, a commitment. You're making a commitment, and not necessarily love, which it definitely could be, but it could represent a union that you're making with something else, some sort of commitment. But there seems to be kind of a spiritual connection with something for you right now, Gemini, and that you're being blessed because it seems like it's working. So this is an emotions card. It's green, and so what this card deals with is relationships involving an emotional bond. So this card could represent a new lover, a soulmate, a kindred soul, a family member, a friend, a business associate, a partner. It could just also relate to a project or a specific situation, So this would be the perfect time to realize that all relationships are really about you, So when you interact with different people, you either give energy or you take it away. So what the question is right now is there an even exchange? There should be an equal balance between giving and receiving energy. So relationships are mirror images of your own life. So they reflect how you feel and treat yourself, and how you react and respond to various situations and individuals around you. So each and every union is an opportunity for your soul to grow. So really think about what your relationship is right now. And again, this could be anything. Yes, it could be your lover, it could be your husband, wife, partner, whomever. But it could also be something else. So, stay open. And then really think like the relationship is a reflection of how you feel. If you're feeling good about it, if you're feeling blessed, the relationship is good. If you feel scared, threatened, fearful, the relationship is not as healthy. So, Gemini, think about that. I know that you're adaptable. You're social, you're friendly. So this is who you are, really. It's easy for you to get in these situations where you feel connected. But again, kind of like Taurus, Gemini, kind of taking a second and thinking about how you feel and what it feels like for you, because you are going to be reflecting that relationship. You're going to be sending that out. So congratulations, and keep it going, and have a glass of wine. You got this. Gemini, I'm so proud of you. We are ready to move right along. We're going to do our next sign, which is Cancer. Cancer is June 22nd, runs June 22nd through July 22nd. And Cancers are a water sign. Water signs can be very nurturing, very sympathetic. They also can be a little emotional. And so, Cancer is, part of that family. Very nurturing, very maternal, very sympathetic. But we've got a card for you, and we're going to pull one right now for Cancer. And we have for you a card that says suffering in silence. And before you don't freak out yet, because as we know, when we pull a card, it may seem like something terrible, but it doesn't necessarily mean exactly that. So let's take a look. So Cancer, your card is showing someone kind of on top of a mountain. They seem like they've been on a journey, or on a journey, or ending a journey, or kind of reflecting at the sunset, thinking about what they've been doing. They seem to be alone, and so they're at the top of the peak, they're at the top of the mountain watching the sunset, but they do seem to be isolated, not necessarily happy, but empowered. Right now it seems like you have everything you need to achieve what you want. You have independence, you have the tools that you need, but you are, feeling isolated. And so let's take a look at that. The number that for you is 9. The thing is, there's worry, there's despair, there might be a sense of hopelessness, but it's not for you to hold on to. It's something to let go, because a positive new path is going to be shown to you. This card follows in this deck number 9. It follows number 8, which is also a mental card. And that card is trapped in fear. And so when your fears aren't confronted, your mental anguish will continue. So this is a reminder, a cosmic reminder to take action and trust that your soul and the power of spirit will hold your hand and guide you, essentially. But you've got to take the first step to heal and let go of the mental distress. So don't suffer in silence, and reach out for help that is available. And so, reach out, let someone help you. It seems like, take a look right now. Like, a lot of these are sounding like reflection. Take a second and see, is there a belief that you're holding on to that you can let go of? Is there something? And then also, this card, this person is at the top of their mountain looking out, and the card is called Suffering in Silence. So that kind of makes me think, why is this person not reaching out? Are they afraid to? Do they feel embarrassed? Or they just not even know where to? So reach out, connect, whether that is, traditional therapy. I know a lot of people do virtual therapy, talking with friends, family, getting on, any sort of thing, and just, letting it out, because there's no sense in keeping all those negative thoughts or limiting beliefs in your head, and just letting them live up there rent free. Let it out, talk it out, and kind of, just breathe and don't suffer alone. That's the main thing. And if it's something even more serious than that, there are tons of online therapy. There's tons of online resources, and so reach out and get that help that you need. Cancer, I know you can be a little bit sensitive, a little bit protective. This is not the time to be hypersensitive or ultra protective. It's the time to let it out, breathe, and take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. All right, we're going to pick a card for Leo. Leo is July 23rd through August 23rd. And so that is a fire sign, Leo. Leos are known to be, affectionate. They can be a little bit dramatic. They're very willful. They can be a little bit egocentric. But they are also typically very generous, and they like to share with friends and family. So we're going to pick a card for Leo and see what March has going on for you, Leo. And the card I have is Foundation and Achievements. And so what I have for you, Leo, is it looks like a family, kind of looking at a house that maybe it's new, and they're moving in, or they just, moved there and they're moving in, or maybe they, renovated it and they're looking at the home that they've kind of fixed, or they just built it, something, but they're really proud of this house. So they're looking at their home, and it looks like it's a really good place because there's a rainbow over it, and they are looking, and it just looks like this is a place where you can say, I have done it, right? So this is a violet card, a violet, not violet card. And the number is 4. And so, like I said earlier, 4 can kind of represent, completion and then what's next. So you did the whole movie. What's the sequel? So it kind of confirms that what you've been working on, Leo, is now established with a strong and solid foundation. So you've been working on something and it's there. We can see it. Nobody can deny it. You deserve it. And it's time for you to kind of harvest what you've been working on, and kind of get the rewards for your efforts. What you sowed some stuff, so now it's time to get it all and take it. Be open to receive, because you have to be open to the universe to get a blessing, because you've worked very hard and you've given a lot. So you have to allow the universe to give back to you, and so that there can be an even exchange. In the more traditional meaning, this card represents a period for celebration, peace, and prosperity. So it also may imply a marriage or the buying of land, or, as it looks like, a new home, because it's a brand new home. So enjoy this time of relaxation because you deserve it, and know that nothing stays the same, and that the wind is always changing. So, own it, love it. You deserve this, Leo. Don't get too comfortable because we know that things always change, but just know that, you worked hard for this, and then now it's time to build onto it. Like I said, you did the first, Fast and Furious. Now it's time for you to work on your sequel, right? And get that out the door. So Leo, use your courage, and use your creativity, to kind of move forward. It's time to celebrate. So be generous, and it is about you because you've done so much. But don't make it all about you. Make it about everyone, and how everyone can, benefit from this. So. All right, we are up to Virgo, which is August 24th through September 23rd. They're an earth sign, so they are practical, stable. They can be a little materialistic, but we're going to pick a card for earth sign Virgo. Let's see what we got for you. Virgo, the card for you is the third eye chakra. So this is obviously a chakra card. It's a little bit different than some of these other tarot cards, which might have kind of interpretation. This one has it's a little more direct. So essentially it's just your third eye chakra, and the number associated with this is 6. The third eye chakra, the color is indigo, so it's kind of a deep, almost blue purple. It's almost indescribable, but it's just a fantastic deep indigo. The sound is om, like om. The element is light. The gland is pituitary, which is back there somewhere in your brain. And the keyword is I see. The keywords are I see. So this is the third eye chakra sees things that maybe your two real eyes, aren't able to. That's why the third eye chakra is very associated with clairvoyance, which is inner seeing. So that, the ability to know things and see things kind of in your mind's eye, essentially. It's associated with intuition and higher levels of consciousness. So it's right between your eyebrows and just above the bridge of your nose. Works very closely with your throat and crown chakras. So those both kind of have some psychic and intuitive connections, and it kind of helps guide you. So one thing they say to balance your third eye is, just doing some walking, meditation, breath work, yoga, tai chi, visualization. So just kind of thinking about, whatever, but just taking a second and doing that. And color therapy, whether that's you wear the glasses with the colored lenses, those can kind of change your mood, or if it's mood lighting, or just, painting your walls a different color, something bright or purple, or, whatever is going to kind of energize you. And don't focus on just the third eye as the development, as kind of like your focus, because really all the chakras, they kind of have to work together to work. It's kind of like, they all kind of need to work together to actually all work. So don't just focus on this, but kind of, the things that it's saying is really thinking about your thinking, self-reflection, metacognition. All of these things are going to help you connect with your third eye chakra. And we know that Virgo can be, a little bit worrisome, and that kind of might be where some of that can be remedied. They're also fairly precise, and they like to know what's going to happen. And so maybe connecting with this higher level of consciousness will help you, Virgo, to kind of hone in and use some skills that you're not necessarily always using to make decisions. And use your third eye chakra to kind of help guide some of those. So do some Tai Chi and maybe a little downward dog tonight. We are to Libra, air sign Libra. Very social. Libra's got the gift of gab. At least I think they do. But Libra, September 24th through October 23rd. And so we are going to pull a card for Libra and see what they can, see if we can help them out. Obviously, they are represented by the scales, so they're known for being balanced, and they're attracted to justice, but also can mean that they, are indecisive. So let's pick a card for Libra. All right, Libra. The card I pulled for you, it is two hands clasping metal or brass, maybe gold bowl. They're both, it's two different people pouring. They're taking the bowl and they're pouring it out, and it's creating a beautiful river where there are trees growing on the banks, and there is a rainbow kind of over them, and this is all represented by the number 1, which is kind of the start. And this card is called Love Begins. And this card has a green border, so that means that it is an emotion card. And so this is representative of how your cup is about to overflow. This cup in this card is overflowing and creating this river, and all these good things are kind of happening because of it. Your cup is going to overflow with joy, with happiness, with positive feelings. This is the first of the emotions cards, so it signifies new love. It usually represents something new, and it doesn't necessarily have to be physical love. So it could also be, the passion or devotion to an idea or a goal, or a creative project. So this is the time right now to open your heart to higher vibrations, loving energy, and be able to accept that. When your issues, anything from the past is resolved, when we forgive others as well as forgiving ourselves, when your heart is open and ready to receive, then that's when these new roads leading you toward love will be revealed. So make sure that if there's, anything that is unresolved, forgiveness, even forgiving yourself, that's going to stop you from being able to channel that or see those paths. So, take a second this month, get rid of anything that you're holding on to. Forgiveness is about other people, but it's also about ourselves, because when we hold on to things, that's energy that we're just holding on to for no really good reason, except for that we just never let it go. So, kind of clean out your emotional freezer, see what you're keeping in there, and then once you do, you're gonna have room, and we don't know what, but something will head your way, and it sounds like it's only good things. So make room for that, and you will, Libra, you can be that much more peaceful. I mean, and also I will say Libra is known to be flirtatious. So if this is passionate love, then I have no doubt that Libra will be an excellent candidate for this project. All right, we are just booking. We've got a couple more left, and we are now at Scorpio, which is October 24th through November 22nd. Scorpio is a water sign, and they're known to be kind of intense. I mean, they're represented by the scorpion. They can be passionate, very passionate, powerful. They feel it all, and so people are drawn to their personalities. They can have magnetic personalities that really just seem to, you don't necessarily know why, but you just want to talk to them or see what they're up to. But for Scorpio, the card that we pulled for you, or I've pulled for you, is it's called Triumph. And what we see, someone is, they are kind of riding a horse. They seem like maybe they were in a battle or they just finished it, but they're on their horse. They're unscathed. They've got their kind of cloak on. They have their flag. The sun is setting behind them, and even though it seemed like it was maybe a dusty kind of terrible encounter, this person seems unscathed. Like they seem like they made it out, and it seems very much so like if we saw you, you would say something like, well, you should see the other guy or girl, but you seem unscathed, and not only unscathed but very resolute about what happened and what should happen next. So a very intense card for a very intense astrological sign. This is a major arcana card, and the number here is 7. And so it looks like what this is representing is that your soul, your spirit, it's pushing you forward. Where you're at now, you're making it, and you're setting new goals. You're developing ideas. You are planning a journey, and it's essential that you think about it and you make sure it's what you want. When you are thinking about your inner guide and how you balance, how you have self-control, put in hard work and persevere, it's likely to create something triumphant. So it's time for you to be a little bit single-minded and focused on what you want at the end. So what do you want your outcome to be? So one thing for visualization exercise for Scorpio is think about the end results as if it were happening right now. And when you've achieved what you set out to do, your ability to meet these other challenges is going to be greatly increased. So when you try to move forward without balance, without direction, you're not really thinking about the guidance. It's easy to get off the path and be drawn away from your goal. So now is not the time to let go or allow other factors to pull you in different directions, because it's very easy to lose control. So, steer your ship, steer carefully toward your highest aim, towards your highest goal, towards your destination. This Triumph card reminds you that you don't have to be alone with all of life's ups and downs and the challenges that face you. This is a time to tap into the powerful knowledge of others, as well as use the inner resources that are within you. And this card does relate to the traditional tarot, which is, this would be the Chariot. So, Scorpio, it sounds like, you have, a lot of passion. You're a powerful, intense person. You are moving in the direction of your dreams. Scorpio can be secretive as well. So one thing maybe to think about, Scorpio, is you are moving in that direction. Maybe now is the time to open up a little bit and share, but also make sure you're sharing with people who, you trust, that you can connect with, that will listen and not necessarily try to influence you. We are at Sagittarius, which is November 23rd through December 21st. So fire sign. They are idealistic, adventurous. They can be kind of out there, philosophic, optimistic, very free, very free. We're going to pick a card for this fire sign. All right, Sagittarius. Your card is partnerships and alliances. And so what we see here for you, Sagittarius, is looks like two different tribes or two different groups, two people from very different backgrounds. They did not grow up in the same neighborhood at all. And yet they have created an alliance, a partnership that was formal in some way, whether it's a handshake or a contract. There is an agreement, there is a partnership that's happening between two very different people. And so this one is represented by the number 3, and again, 3 can represent a completion. So 1 is kind of the start, 2 is the next step, and 3 can kind of be the completion of a thought. So this is a good thing, and it represents what kind of connections you're creating in your own life, what partnerships and alliances you're creating in your own life. Sagittarius, this is a violet card, so that means it is a spirit card, and the meaning of this card shows that you're now starting to see the fruits of your labor. So you worked on something, and now you're kind of seeing it take form. There may still be a lot of work to do, and that's fine, but watch out for when things sync up, when things are kind of connected, the same. You're going to notice, hey, that's kind of like this other thing. That's going to bring you an opportunity to form that connection or alliance, and that will be taking two things and creating something new out of it. And that could really be helpful for a project that you're working on right now. With every time you have a partnership, you have to remember, we talked about this already, there has to be an even exchange of energy. If you give too much, if you're putting in too much and your partner's giving in too little, it's going to leave you feeling drained, and it's going to cause the partnership or alliance to feel uneven, unbalanced, like there's something wrong. So there has to be the balance in order for it to work and blend to get the results that you want. This card is reminding you, Sagittarius, that success, it comes in many forms, and even from a place where you weren't expecting it to come from. So Sagittarius, have an open mind when you are listening to others, especially this month. I know one of the negative traits or not so great traits about Sagittarius is it can be impatient. So waiting to see this kind of come to fruition can be hard. But also, Sag are typically very optimistic and have a really good outlook. So that is what's going to help you find these partnerships and find these alliances, because your ability to see the good and see what could happen potentially is gonna lead you to those partnerships, and then all you have to do is kind of take that next step and kind of formalize it and see how you can make that work. So again, represented by 3, so that's a good energy. 1 is the start, 2 is the next step, and 3 is meaning that you're out there, and the universe is looking for that for you as well. The universe is doing the work too, so you put in your part and the universe is helping. We are moving right along. We've got 2 more left, and the next one is Capricorn. Capricorn is December 22nd through January 20th. Earth signs, so grounded. They can be stable. We're known to be stable, practical earth signs. All those things. So Capricorn, we've got something for you. We know that sometimes we say Capricorns are very efficient, but sometimes too efficient. So efficient that they can be a little bit insensitive. So let's see what card we have for Capricorn for March. And the card that we have for you is Patience, Capricorn. What we see is someone kind of waiting. It looks like they're kind of waiting on some energy to come out. So they have a flower in their hand. They're kind of waiting. They had to wait for this flower to grow. They're waiting on something, and it seems very much that the person this is asking you to kind of observe a lot more than you are taking action right now. And so the card Patience, the number is 14, and I believe this one connects to the major arcana. It's a little self-explanatory, but we'll dig in for you, Capricorn. Patience, this card is really symbolic of the need for patience, for self-control, adjustment, moderation, and balance when dealing with others as well as yourself. This could be in the areas of how you think and work, how you handle school, recreational time, the people in your life, or your spiritual path right now. Your soul has more than one aspect of yourself. So how you draw support, how your soul draws that support. And so it's all about integration and learning to blend and balance physical and spiritual. You are like a cloud. You are ethereal. You are, this cosmic light in this physical body. And so you're both. You're both this big cosmic light and a physical body enjoying the human experience. So honor everything, honor all of you. If you go through life denying yourself the joy of combining these, you're missing out. You're missing out on what the world has to offer. So why accept a life that's half-lived? This card right now, Capricorn, is reminding you to open your heart and mind and allow yourself to listen to other people's ideas and thoughts, listen to their perspectives. The blissful harmony can be achieved when everyone learns to work as one, and everyone benefits. So listen, share, reach out. All these things will help you renew your faith in yourself and the people around you. you're going to become more aware of the miracles around you, as well as the ones that you have a hand in creating. And so the traditional tarot archetype for this is called Temperance. And so really think about, I think sometimes we say it like this, like I had someone say it like this, like I was saying something was happening, and I was saying that I needed more patience. I needed patience, and I need someone to give me patience, and I need some more patience. And they were saying that you don't get patience. You kind of you get an opportunity to use patience. So that is part of it, I think, is really just thinking, Capricorn, like where is the patience come in? Like sometimes, being at the DMV, sitting in, like, okay, that's an opportunity to show how patient you can be. But then there's other times, like when you're working with someone and maybe the conversation lasts several days and it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Where patience comes in there is giving you a chance to say, hey, you're in control. There's no one else saying what this timeline is, and so even though it can be a little bit inefficient to go longer, or Capricorns are known to be kind of economical, so they're not really they really want efficiency. They don't want to waste time, but patience is really asking you to say, this isn't time that's wasted. It's actually time that you're investing in yourself and in the people around you, because you are allowing that moment. You're allowing yourself to have that time to see what the blessings are around you, and that's very patient. And so something you're working towards, whether it's something that you're creating or something that just happens because of that's the situation, but your patience will pay off. And even though so don't be pessimistic, that can feel pessimistic, and the patience, when you're patient, sometimes the pessimism kind of creeps in, like, what am I waiting for, what am I doing here? But think about the outcome, think about what you want to see, and that's going to help you be patient, but also that optimism is going to kind of drive you forward and help you keep going. We have come to our last sign, and we are going to end with Aquarius, air sign Aquarius. They are January 21st through February 19th, and they can be unusual. They're known to be inventive, very independent, very original. They can be also rebellious, and their independence can sometimes make them seem a little bit detached, a little bit, separate. But they seem to be pretty stable and able to, make it work. So good for you, Aquarius. But we are going to pull a card for you and see what March has in store for you. And the card that we have for you is called Material Harvest. This is represented by the number 9, and it looks like this person has in front of them a lot of things. There's some food, there's money, there are some little trinkets, water, supplies, so kind of anything that you would need to exist. This person has that stuff in front of them. It kind of looks like they're inventorying, but also kind of seems like they are they're being thankful for whatever they have in front of them. And that seems to be kind of not only calming them down, but creating a sense of serenity for this person who is very in tune to what things, items that they own, or what's in their inventory. This is a red card that denotes physical, and it's the last physical card. So it's the 9 represents mastery, sufficiency, independence, security, and the art of enjoying what you've been working for. One of the laws of the universe is, what you put out there, that's what's going to come back to you. So this card is all about that. It's that this is your time to harvest what you've worked for. You put some stuff out there, and now it's coming back to you in different ways, maybe, but it's coming back to you. That energy is coming back. So you've kind of become very independent and very self-sufficient. And so it seems like you've learned some valuable lessons recently, and not only have you learned them, but you're using them in your life now. So it's kind of like, not only did you get your driver's license, pass the test, but you're out there and you're in the streets, man, and you are rolling with it and doing great. So for this material harvest card for you, Aquarius, it's 9 again. So again, that means that can indicate an ending. And so not that necessarily your good fortune is going to come to an end, but take this time to kind of finish up a project that you're working on, or celebrate something that you already completed, and take time to do that. So it's a really good time to pause and kind of think about what you've been working on, and either finish up something or celebrate something that you're really proud of. Look ahead and use what wisdom that you've been gaining, and think about what else you want to achieve. Maybe consider a smart investment. So you've got something, so maybe you want to invest a little bit. An idea, maybe you want to start an idea that might create a side hustle for you, or a gig. You're already kind of doing some of that, so this is just kind of a continuation of your success, and the universe is rewarding you because of your success. So the universe is essentially saying, hey, great job, you earned it, and they are kind of pointing to your material things. And so take a second, and kind of inventory, look at the things that you've gotten. You're an inventive person, and so you could probably invent a million things, a million new things every day. And so taking a second to really think about which ones are good ideas, or which ones you really want to put all of your energy into, and do that. Pick those, because you've already kind of had some success. Now is the time to channel that success, and there's a million things, million directions you could go, right? So picking really where you want to go now, and kind of honing that in, making it a little bit smaller, so that you can experience, even more. And that wraps up our tarot reading today. We went through all of our signs. If you missed some, feel free to rewind and hear that again. I do this every month at the beginning of the month, so if you want to get a card for your month to kind of see a little bit about what your month might be like, or some ideas about what's working, please subscribe on Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Please rate and review us. It does help. And please, if you are wanting some more time to talk, or listen, or get your own, kind of more in-depth tarot spread reading, please visit talkwithraffi.com. Everyone who visits talkwithraffi.com gets 15 free minutes to book with me, and that includes one free tarot card pull for you. So nothing to lose. Love to hear from you, and if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. Until then, thank you so much. Stay blessed. I love you, and bye-bye.